3 months ago, I stopped answering my phone. Not, I got better at delegating, not, I hired someone. I stopped picking up. On purpose. If you'd told me a year ago that a real estate business could survive, let alone grow, with the founder deliberately not answering calls, I'd have told you that you don't understand this industry, and it was the best business decision I made this year. Let me tell you why I did it, what I was terrified would happen, and what actually happened instead. Here's the honest version, not the highlight reel version. For years, being reachable was basically my entire value proposition. A buyer calls, I answer, day, evening, weekend, didn't matter. That's what a good agent does, right? You're always on, except always on doesn't scale. It doesn't scale across time zones when your buyers are in Amsterdam and Stockholm and Dubai and you're in Spain. It doesn't scale when you're standing in a viewing and your phone is buzzing in your pocket for a completely different buyer. And it definitely doesn't scale when the call is from someone who doesn't speak English and you're fumbling through a conversation neither of you can fully have. I wasn't burning out because I had too many leads. I was burning out because I was the single point of failure for every single one of them. If I didn't answer, nothing happened. That's not a business. That's a bottleneck with a name on it. Here's what stopped me from doing this for way longer than I should have admitted. I was convinced that if I wasn't the one answering, buyers would feel it, that they'd sense they were talking to a system instead of a person, and just hang up. That a six-figure, sometimes seven-figure, purchase decision needs a human voice on the other end. Full stop. No exceptions. That fear is exactly why so many agents still answer every call themselves, even when it's wrecking their calendar and their sanity. It's not laziness that keeps agents glued to their phones. It's a genuine belief that letting go means losing the deal. So I want to be honest about that fear before I tell you what actually happened. Because if you're watching this and you feel the same way, you're not wrong to feel it. You're just missing one detail. This is Sophia, the SEM Express AI receptionist. When a call comes in and I'm not available, on a viewing, on another call, or genuinely just done for the day, Sophia picks up, live, on that exact call. Not a voicemail, not a text an hour later. She introduces herself professionally, on behalf of my agency. She detects the caller's language in the first few seconds, and responds in it. Dutch, German, Swedish, Arabic, whatever the buyer is actually thinking in. She asks the questions that actually matter, budget, timeline, what they're looking for. And if the buyer's ready, she books them directly into my calendar. On that same call, before they've even hung up, here's the part that actually got me over the fear. The buyer isn't talking to a system in the way I was afraid of. They're having a real conversation, one that adjusts to what they say, answers follow-up questions, and hands off to me at exactly the right moment for the leads worth my personal attention. I didn't remove the human element from my business. I just stopped being required for every single second of it. That's the difference between always on and always answered. They sound the same. They are not the same thing. I'm not going to just tell you, this works. Let me play you a real one. This call came in while I was recording this exact video. I didn't touch my phone.
Hallo, spreek ik met Pieter?
Ja,
Geweldig, Pieter. Mijn naam is Sophia, ik bel namens Glenn's Real Estate. U heeft recentelijk interesse getoond in een woning in Marbella en ik wilde even snel contact opnemen. Heeft u 2 minuten?
jazeker.
Super, bedankt. Om u beter te kunnen helpen, bent u op zoek naar een appartement, een villa of staat u open voor beide? En heeft u een voorkeur voor nieuwbouw of bestaande woningen?
Ik zoek eigenlijk een nieuwbouwappartement.
Duidelijk, een nieuwbouwappartement dus. Heeft u al een specifieke locatie in Marbella in gedachten of staat u open voor verschillende gebieden?
Ja, ik sta open voor verschillende gebieden.
Dus u bent geïnteresseerd in de wat levendigere gebieden.
Ja.
Begrijpelijk. En qua timing, bent u van plan om binnenkort een beslissing te nemen of is dit meer iets voor de langere termijn?
Ja, binnen 2 maanden of zo.
Perfect, dat is een mooie tijdlijn. En is dit appartement bedoeld als uw hoofdwoning, een vakantieverblijf of meer als een investering?
Investering.
Helder, een investering dus. Tot slot, heeft u een globaal budget in gedachten, zodat we u beter kunnen adviseren? Het hoeft niet exact te zijn.
Het kan tot 750.000.
Dank u, dat geeft een goed beeld. Op basis van wat u heeft gedeeld, lijkt het me een goed idee om u in te plannen voor...
And there it is, booked directly into my calendar before the call even ended. I found out about that lead the same way you just did. So here's what happened after I stopped being the bottleneck, for me and for the agents already running this system. One agent on the Costa Blanca picked up 150 leads in 14 days. Every single call that came in while he was busy, still answered, still qualified. Another agent in Marbella closed 1.2 million euros in property sales value with German buyers, without speaking a word of German herself. Sophia carried every one of those conversations until it was time for her to close. And a Dubai-based agent recovered 380,000 euros in deals from leads he'd already written off as dead, because the follow-up never stopped, even when he did. None of that happened because these agents got better at answering their phones. It happened because they stopped needing to. I want to be clear about what I actually mean by I stopped answering the phone. I still talk to buyers. Every single hot lead still gets me, personally, at exactly the right moment. What I stopped doing is being the only possible entry point into my own business. Sophia doesn't replace the relationship. She protects it by making sure nobody who's ready to buy ever hits silence while I'm unavailable. If you're still the single point of failure in your own lead flow, answering every call yourself, hoping nothing slips through while you're on a viewing, I get it. I was there. Go to go.sem-express.com. Book a call. I'll show you Sophia live, answering a real call, in your market, in your language. Go.sem-express.com. Your move.